Hello, team member at BSPC, it's Andrew here. Right behind me I've got the first of our 5 values, and it is be passionate. What I'm going to do is talk you through what that means to us here and how we live that value on a daily basis here at the clinic. So what does being passionate really mean? Well, it's like now I'm being passionate about this. I'm bringing some energy and we want you to bring that energy as well. You've got to be passionate about physio or whatever service you're providing here at BSPC. We're passionate about healthcare. We don't do this job for the money. Healthcare is not renowned for that. We do it because we love helping people. That's why we are here. That's why we continue to get out of bed each morning and why we work so hard at university and why we all come together here to deliver a great service. So we really want to see you bring your passion for the role, and that in turn brings real energy that is contagious. And we find if you bring that energy, then we all lift up together and the workday goes much faster, and we really don't feel drained at the end of the day if you bring that energy because it's matched by the teammates. You'll also find that with the patients. So if you're a therapist and you're watching this video, then you really need to be passionate about what you do, and the patient will really pick up on that. So in that way, you can uplift them, you can empower them, and we know that that leads to greater outcomes. What does not being passionate about your role looks like? Talking with low energy, low mood like I am now, turning up to work before the first patient, maybe 1 minute early, going through the daily tasks, bit by bit, and not really exuding that enthusiasm for what we do. The patients will pick up on that, and as a result they won't get as good outcomes. That leads to poor outcomes, less job satisfaction, and brings the energy of the team down. So that's an example of what not being passionate about what the role is. And we certainly, if that happens, and it can happen, then please work with us, talk to me, talk to the management team about what's happening and what we can do about it. We'll work through it together. So we want to see you be passionate, bring your passion. Our second value, being professional. I was in year 9 when I first got told by my first ski coach that I needed to always be the consummate professional. At that age, I didn't quite understand what that meant, but I certainly do now. And what it means is embodying the vision of what you have in your head of what the utmost professional standard would do, whoever that would be, and applying that to yourself. So in the skiing example, that means getting sleep, recovering properly. Athletes know this, eating well, making sure you're doing all the little things right. That's what a professional athlete does that leads to great results. Now, what does that look like in the healthcare profession? Well, I see us as healthcare professionals. That's why we dress the way we do. That's why we wear shirts and why we have a dress code here. That's why we don't wear t-shirts to work, even though it might be comfortable, because we're healthcare professionals, not just healthcare providers. We're more than that. It's also why we write letters to our referrals. That's really, really important. It's why we run on time with our patients, because we're professionals, we treat the patients with the respect they deserve. That's why we turn up to work early. That's why we stay late and we do our notes. We do some other examples. We make sure that we have our insurances and make sure we're registered. There's been examples of unprofessional behaviour would be not renewing your APRA insurance, for example, not using language that is respectful of the patient, and not writing back to a referrer who's taken the time to write you a letter. Even if they haven't, they might be busier than you, and as such we always write letters back. So there are some examples of how being the consummate professional looks at BSPC. Here we are to value number 3. We're working our way down the corridor here in the upstairs level. You'll see behind me there, practice what we preach. This one's fairly straightforward, so I think you'll understand this one. You really need to have an interest in healthcare to really enjoy working here. It don't have to be a professional athlete. We are a sports and physiotherapy centre. We bring a sports medicine approach to what we do. You need to have an interest in activity. You probably are either going to play sports or participate in sports or enjoy watching sports to really find your place here and really enjoy that. It might be yoga or Pilates that you're passionate about. That works too. but you certainly need to have an active interest in it. That curiosity and that real enthusiasm for those types of things will do a few really important, or turn a few important dials for you. One, it'll make sure you stay healthy yourself, which we need to as healthcare professionals to do our jobs well. We also need to be examples to patients on how to live the best lives that they can live as well. So there are a few examples. If you start neglecting yourself, then you'll find work is harder and harder. You lose energy, and that's certainly something that we don't want to have happen. So we want to really support each other in our pursuits, whether it be attending a Pilates class, whether it be doing a yoga class, running a triathlon, doing a marathon, participating in triathlons on the weekend, or just going for a walk with the dog after work, if that's all you could fit in that day. I know that sometimes is my day. So that's what practicing what we preach really means at BSPC. Okay, this is a big one. Constant improvement. Another way of saying that is always raising the bar. So if we find out there's a new technique or new evidence, let's use a physio example, in ankle sprains, for example, that might improve our return to sport time, then we want to utilise that, we want to learn that. So that's why we stay on top of the current evidence. We have an awareness of it. It's why we encourage further study, always. We love seeing and supporting going on courses. We feel that there is no finish line for learning, that it is always something that just keeps happening. Knowledge has a half-life. It's always changing, developing. So yes, we all get busy, and sometimes it's hard to fit it all in. I know myself now, I don't read as many papers as I used to, but whenever an interesting one comes across my desk, I still prioritise. I can't help myself that I really want to stay up to date with things. What's some examples of constant improvement not happening, where we might see someone do the same thing with the patient year in, year out, not go on any PD courses. We might send some knowledge content around and hoping to see some inspiration or excitement and get nothing in return. Those are signs that maybe you're not interested in developing yourself anymore, and we certainly don't want to see that. So constant improvement happens at the front desk as well in our admin team. We're always looking at ways how we can better help our customers, how we can better get a better experience here, and always open to hearing from you if you've got great ideas on how it could help our entire patient journey here. All right, we're up to our last one, number 5, and that is respect. And you'll also see on here, on purpose, you've got to give it to get it. So it's really, really important to understand what that means. And what does that mean? Well, you've got to give other people respect for them to respect you back. So when you give something out, you usually receive it threefold back. That's what we believe here, and certainly what I've found to be true. What does respect mean on a daily basis here at BSPC? That means respecting each other, difference of opinions. That's interesting, tell me more about that, as opposed to you're wrong, I'm right. We really want to make sure we leave our egos at the door here at BSPC, because that's how we all learn and we all grow together. And a rising tide lifts up all the boats in the harbour. We want to respect our patients, we want to respect our patients' time. We want to respect the clinic. So we run on time, we wrap up on time, we maintain control and in the consult. So that's actually showing the patient a sign of respect. We listen to our patients, we listen to each other. We try and understand where they're coming from, where each other's coming from, and relate in a way that we can all move forwards together. We don't rush out after the last patient. We greet each other at the start of the day and say goodbye at the end of the day as well. How did you go? We might discuss a case at the end of the day as well. Our therapists thank our admin team for the great jobs they do each day. I always say thank you for doing the work, and that's reciprocated. There's no one person here that's more important than the other, and that's how we create a really happy, harmonious work environment where everyone respects one another, and we all have a great time.